It's ironic how long I have been putting off recording this video, but even just sitting down to do it now, I'm already feeling a sense of relief for just getting on with it. And there's a saying that it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile, meaning that it takes more effort to hold ourselves in a place of dissatisfaction or unhappiness than if we just got on with things and were able to move on from them. So if there's something weighing on your mind, face it head on rather than avoiding it. And no matter how you feel about it, it's okay to be emotional or frustrated or just really grumpy that you have to do this thing that you don't want to do. But it's more about how you navigate that situation and how you get through it. The worst thing you can do is to ignore it. So lean into the challenge and understand what's going on beneath your resistance to whatever it is you need to be doing. Here are 3 ways to avoid avoidance. So first up is address the stress. When we face a challenge, we get tunnel vision about it. If you think about a lion chasing a zebra, the zebra is so concerned, understandably, about survival and escaping the lion that it doesn't think about what it's going to have for dinner later, or what its family are up to, or the conversation that it had last night with its friend. It is so focused on survival and getting away from the lion in that moment that all its energy and focus and attention just goes towards escaping that situation. And it's the same for humans. Even when we try and distract ourselves with starting a new series or going shopping or catching up with a friend, we still have this stress in the back of our mind because we are avoiding the situation. But we have already dealt with so much that at one point we didn't think that we could achieve or we could get through or we could do well at and succeed in. So to dial back some of the stress that you're feeling around this challenge that you're facing, think about how you have already handled similar situations in the past and what insights you gained about yourself in the way that you handled this challenge. What would you change if you were faced with a similar situation again? You have already overcome so much that at one point you didn't think was possible, but you have already proven to yourself that you can, and you have no doubt learnt what needs to be improved maybe, or what has also gone really well in that situation that you can carry forward into the next. Depending on what the situation is, it will also impact you emotionally in different ways. So think, how deeply does this situation impact me emotionally? And you can rank it on a scale of 0 to 10. How much would you like to ignore this feeling right now? But then if you were to lean into the emotion that you're feeling and learn from it, what would you gain? What insights would you gather? 2 is to address the avoidance that you're feeling. And that avoidance can be either conscious or unconscious. So consciously for me, I know that when there is something that I really want to avoid doing, my house is spotless. I am a procrastinator cleaner. So I might sit down at my laptop for 5, maybe 10 minutes and suddenly I'm off and I'm hoovering. And I am so aware that that is what I'm doing because I am physically moving myself away from what I should be doing towards doing something else because I just don't want to have to deal with it. But on the other hand, it could also be unconscious. Say you have a big project, you might want to start writing a book and you've had this idea in your head for years, but you have never made a start on it because you are telling yourself that I just don't have the time. If only I had more time in my day, then of course I would start writing this book and writing down ideas and jotting out the structure of it. Logically, you're rationalizing to yourself that, if only I had the time, it's not my fault, I just need my external circumstances to change, and then of course I would get on with this thing. But we are unconsciously using that reason as an excuse for why we haven't taken the action or progressed in our goals. And when we avoid a situation, our mind believes that because we perceive the situation as dangerous, that it is something we should be running from. And so when we do run from it through continuous procrastination and distraction, we are affirming to ourselves that it's dangerous and it should be avoided. So the problem just gets bigger and bigger in our minds. Run fast towards your fear. Show your nervous system that it is safe to do so. There is no threat. It is just perception. So just do it and take the action no matter how small. Things feel overwhelming when they're really big. So just spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever is the most accessible, simple action that you can take. Do that now and show your nervous system how safe it is to do it. 3rd is addressing the need for control. So have you ever noticed how the harder you hold on to something, the heavier things feel? And we often think that having control over something gives us the freedom. If I just tried harder, worked longer hours, I held on tighter to this, then things would be okay. But the real freedom shows up the moment that we just let go completely. And surrender isn't giving up, it's simply releasing the weight of what has been dragging you down. And when you do finally let go, then something shifts. So like with the zebra that has tunnel vision on its survival, once that perceived threat releases and escapes, it has so much space. Its mind can open up again. It can think about different opportunities. It's able to think creatively in different situations. It can think about what it's going to have for dinner or what it's going to talk to its friends about. Your mind is clearer, it's more open, your whole body feels lighter, and that struggle just melts away. So instead, notice where there is interest. Think about how you can do this in a way that feels really fun and interesting for you. So it's not an obligation, it's something that you have to do. It's an opportunity, it's something that you want to do. But you have the opportunity to create relief in your body by getting this thing out, whatever it is you want to create or need to get done. You can set yourself free. 10 years ago, think back to that version of you. It was a version of you that didn't know half of the things that you know now. So think of something now that version of you couldn't have conceptualized then. It doesn't have to be a particular achievement, just something that you've done. And it's important to show yourself specificity in that previous scenario and just really feel that there is a facet of you that understands how to figure things out. Tap into this with data, with the specificity of a real example. You're not just tapping into this with faith and thinking, oh yeah, I'm sure I did. Really get into what you have done in the past that you didn't think you were able to do at one time, and create certainty in your body that I can figure things out. This is who I am. You can even say to yourself, that version of me got me to this, and this version of me will get me to that. And then start to project your attention to the future. Where are you? What are you doing? What do you know for sure? What are you achieving? And what is the most useful thought you can think that causes power in your body? And when you feel more power in your body, then you have more energy and more focus, and you can get the job done and you can feel good doing it. Release your need for control. Show yourself how capable you are based on what you have already done in the past, and run towards whatever it is that you have been avoiding.